All right, so much to know that you're still there. The program this morning on ITV, it's Stay Here. Yes, the issue of 2023 presidential election is one thing that we must continue to talk about. We must also continue to galvanize the average electorate, around so as to be prepared for the election. And we also do know that the Independent National Electoral Commission is not, resting on its oars. Yesterday, the chairman was at Chatham House in the United Kingdom, and of course, he briefed, Nigerians in diaspora, the level of development, the level of preparation that INEC has made so far. And good enough, he actually praised the Nigerian youth that this year's election is, going to be owned by the Nigerian youth, because he made some very surprising revelation. That huge percentage of the PVC collection is somehow credited to the youth. Now, what that means is that already we now already know that the youth are going to have the bulk of the votes as we prepare for the 2023 election. Well, to discuss PVC's collection percentage issues in focus this morning, we are so privileged to have Mr. Harrison Izeko. He's a public affairs analyst and also a political analyst. You're welcome to the show this morning on ITV.
Thank you. Good morning, Evans. Good morning, viewers.
As a youth, I know that you are so happy when the INEC chairman has to praise you, praise myself, praise us, that we own the 2023 election. But let us talk to the youth this morning. There are still issues, still fears, still worries, that perhaps the average Nigerian youth is not conscientized enough to turn away from votes buying. That seems to be the greatest scare as we prepare for the election now.
Well, first of all, I think let me appreciate young persons, the Nigerian youths, for being proactive this time around. Maybe it have to do with the present economic situation of the country. It is no longer news. Even as we speak now, we cannot even get fuel to use in our various houses, things of generator to buy fuel in our cars. So the economic situation is eating hard on every Nigerian. And the young persons have realized that for a very long time, they have not been participating in election the way is expected of them. And they've all come out now to register. And the issue of vote buying and money during the election, you cannot completely remove it. It's not going to be business as usual, but I can assure you that it will still play a very significant role, because this youth you are seeing in different political rally, you see this candidate, you see part of it. It's not my father that is going there, it's the same youth that are going there. And these youth have their own political allegiance to their party. So, and they have their own allegiance to the candidate. And money will also play another role, because some of them feel that they might look at the highest bidder. And some also decide to say, well, money or no money, we are going to vote our conscience. I think we should do more of political enlightenment, to do sensitization on the need for young persons to vote the right person, and not to look at money to be the basis, because whatever is happening today, everybody go to the same market. There is no market for youth, there is no market for market is market, and the price is the same for everybody. So by and large, I think that money is going to play a role. I won't deceive you, and those who have the money to spend, they might have their way, but in some areas it might not also work, because some of these young persons are very resolute. I was part of the collection of the PVC in my ward, and I know what I saw. And I saw people who are very, very proactive, who are ready to do what is right. As early as 3 p.m., some persons were already there. If somebody will wake up as early as that, a young person, I don't think that money will be able to persuade such a person. We saw some young person with good cars. They are out there. Some of them are even spending their money to make sure that they get the card and ensure that on that day there are people who vote. But another thing, the disadvantage is that during the election, everybody will go to their various units where they will vote. That strength they got when they gather together will no longer be there. At that local level, at that unit level, these politicians who understand the business very well, might be able to persuade some of them in terms of cash to convince them to vote against their will. But that is not to say that our youth would just be readily to just go the way of money. I can see very many of them will shun money and vote their conscience because of the present situation we find ourselves.
Okay. All right. Now, the registration for the permanent voters card and of course its collection perhaps came at a time that Nigeria as a nation is having so many insecurity issues now. Some people say that it is a way of identity now. For you to own a PVC, you use it for identity and all that. And perhaps that's the reason why that most Nigerian youths had to come out to get themselves registered. Now, Professor Yakubu Mahmood at Chatham House yesterday in London actually said that out of a total number of the entire cards that have been collected so far, because the collection is still ongoing, about 85% of these cards have been collected by youth. Now, what do you think would be the guarantee? Just like what I said, that these cards can be used for different purposes. Apart from voting now, you can use it as a means of, identification, as a means of doing transactions here and there. Now, what is the guarantee that that's 85% of cards collected so far, collected by the youths, we automatically transform into the voting?
Yes, some of those cards collected by the young person, most of them will be translated to vote. Depends on the area, the geopolitical zone. You know, this obedient movement in some geopolitical zone. In some areas, some persons are coming out because, especially in Benin here, especially the three urban local government, most of the young persons you see came out because of the new movement, and it started very late. So they want to try to exercise their franchise to vote. While some other persons who collected are also coming out based on who is leading them, based on their political allegiance. Most of these political parties that have structure, that have been on ground, they have youth wings. They have different structure at different level that they have built. And these political parties will definitely encourage their youth to come out. And they also have resources to hold them to their side, to keep them. So it will translate to vote. That is not to say that some persons also came out to register because of identity. In some area, it is a way of life that the North now is a way of life that they are more politically informed. Getting their PVC is their right, they will do it. But those of us from the South here, it is even recently now that we are getting some level of persuasion. Let's go and get the PVC. People were not interested. Some who even get it, doesn't even come on election day. Some of them just get it for maybe other identity to maybe to go to bank and all of that stuff. But this time around, the number of persons that we vote this time around, young persons, is going to be increased, especially from the South, within this South and some part of the Southwest, because of the new information, because the way the people have seen what is happening, the insecurity, the way the country is going. So persons just feel that even if my vote is not going to come, let me go and cast it there. They will come out. But like I said, when they now get to the unit level, at that local level, that is where the issue of persuasion will come in. And what will form that persuasion is resources. The same young persons you are seeing today that is telling you they want to do that, but by the time they get to the field, it's a different ballgame entirely. And these political parties who have been on ground, they understand, they know how to do it. By the time you hear that people are sharing 5,000, 10,000 to some persons, those artisans who are the super poor, see that money as something that will be able to do something reasonable for them. They will go for it. It's only the few persons who maybe they are well to do the hard job that will say, no, I will not accept it. And these persons will not be in the same place. They will be scattered across the different units. Like in my ward, we have 88 units. When we are collecting PVC, everybody gathered together in the same place. And people were saying, we will not collect money. By the time everybody go to their various units, we are not seeing ourselves again. So it's going to become very easy for people to conscientize them and make them see the need why they will vote for their own, kind of against their own will. You know, and there is no time for the sensitization. This is where the NGO and that's need to come in so that we can talk to the people and let them know that there was no need of selling your vote. Because if you look around, the issue of some person said that EFCC will come and say, leave that thing. When they were doing primaries in Abuja, EFCC was there now. When they were sharing the dollar, how many persons have been arrested? Wow. How many staff do they even have that they will spread across Nigeria to arrest people? All those are just, for people who don't feel that they are not doing that, you are just seeing them around. You cannot remove vote buying from this coming election. And now, those who have the resources is waiting at that level. If they see that the way is going on to favor, they will go and make money available to make sure that when they get to the field, they will be able to get, at least break the block vote that's supposed to come and pull out some of them. You cannot actually blame some of these persons. As I speak with you, it is difficult to live in this country. People are dying. People cannot eat. Yesterday, I queued up at Airport Road to buy fuel. I stayed there for about 3 hours. When it got to my turn, they said they want to discharge for everybody should go. And I was curious. What is all this? You see people rushing here and there. People cannot even move. People cannot even eat. It is difficult. You can't travel to somewhere. People cannot go to farm. So some of these things is making Nigerians to now feel that enough is enough. Let us go out and do the needful.
Now, do you think the youths, are they aware of this? Do they have the understanding?
That is what I'm saying. My fear is this. Majority of them don't really have this sensitization, this information. But some of the youth are aware. The enlightened one are aware that if we sacrifice our life today because of 5,000 or 3,000, we are going to suffer again. But we don't count minority, we count majority. Once you get to some of these polling units, you discover that you see the people that comes to vote, they are not the same level. And you see more of these artisans, more of these low-class persons that come out to do the voting. And that is where the politician target. Those are the people they talk to. Those are the people they just, okay, make we do it like this. Take this, you go and vote for us. And most time, it works. So that is another fear in this coming election. And nothing will change it. Because these people understand, they're already preparing themselves. So that day, they will strategize themselves and begin to reach out, get canvassers, and begin to talk to these persons, and they will call the shot. At the end of the day, they'll be able to reduce the bulk vote that people are saying from outside, from the social media, that this election will go this way. So then, they might end up saying that the election has been rigged. It's not rigged. It's just that some persons were big enough to do the work, and they have the resources to spread around. And some of the persons who were leaving their houses, this is the person I want to vote for. But when they get to the field, somebody else is influencing them. Money is influencing them. See the money, now 5K, go do and you show me. You can't collect money for here. And the person have no choice. If you look at 5K, maybe when you reach out, that will be able to take up there for another 2 or 3 days. If you stay alone and all that. So he will want to compromise. Okay. Like the last election, a woman who voted in my unit, immediately she voted, somebody gave her 3,000. And she was not saying, when I went to me, she called the children. The 3 of them who did not come, that they should start coming now. That they are paying money. Before you know it, when those children came, when the 3 of them came, it was the one that led them to go and meet the people that were doing it. And they went to vote and collected their money. It's as bad as that. Because poverty, some person might not even get food to eat on that day before they get to the polling center. And he's even hungry right there. And somebody is saying, come and take 5,000. To some person, 5,000 look like 5 million. So this is the problem we are finding ourselves. The addicts, those who are leading us right now, have make sure that Nigerians will live in abject poverty. They will not get food to eat, so that they will not have choice. But I know that there will be an alternative. We will not go the same way that we are going right now. It's not going to be possible.
All right, so let's do some comparison now. Now, the collection of the PVCs, in the south, or let me say, in the South geopolitical region, let me put it that way, seems to be in favor of the youth in the south here. The percentage is that the southern youth seems to have registered more, and they seem to have collected more, because they are using the collection percentage now to judge who registered more. We do know that in the north we always have a super population as it relates to registration and collection. But a little wonder, will that translate to the election results? Will it be that at the end of the day, that maybe a southern president would emerge, going by the fact that the southern youths collected the PVCs more?
The collection is minority. You see, let us look at it. For the very first time, we're having the three major tribes in Nigeria feeding the candidates. We have Atiku Abubakar from the north. We have Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the west. We have Peter Obi from the east.
Yeah, but we also have some other political parties too. So
we are talking about the people that are actually going to be the major liner that
all
we can actually say that.
No,
I know what I'm talking about. It's just that I wake up this morning and say, okay, I want to go and run for Senate, or I want to become a governor. Then I join one political party. I know that it's an exercise in futility because I will not have what it takes to actually be able to go around
but people will vote for you.
No, I will not have what it takes to get votes around the three senatorial districts. You don't climb the tree from the top. You have to start from somewhere. So this election is going to be tribal. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. I am saying it today. The 5 states from the west, Tinubu is going to win.
No, you don't have to say
no, it's my personal opinion.
I would say
no, it's my personal opinion. It's my personal opinion. No, I'm just saying, we are postulating. It's my personal opinion. The East will vote for their brother. Then those who from the North will also vote their brother. Even if the little advantage the sitting government have, that they have about 23 states, which they are in charge of. But now, the mathematics there is this. Will they want to leave their brother aside and vote for somebody who's from another ethnic group? These are the issues. It is going to play out in this election.
So you mean the election is going to be of ethnicity?
First, ethnicity is going to play a serious role. It's going to play a serious role. And our brother from the north, they are more politically informed. They know what it takes for their brother to be in government. Even if they are dying, I'm telling you, if Buhari have an opportunity to contest election again, he will still win majority of the states from the north. They don't bother. They just want to have their person there. Now, people are declaring Southern president. And now the vote coming from the south is going to be divided. That is where the issue is coming from.
But do you think the North is still really together? I mean, going by what has been happening recently, the Fulani cattle,
it's not new. The last election, even some areas in Borno State, Zamfara, where Boko Haram were in charge, did they not bring result? They won. Even during those periods, those same people who are doing the fighting, they seize power. They understand what it takes. The vote that is coming from the south, from the south, first is going to be divided by two Southerners. So that is the fear. If those northern leaders who are in the major political party today decide to betray their party, then the other person from the other side becomes the president. So what we are looking at is that, yes, everybody will play a role. The different candidate that is on board right now will determine the pace at which this election would go. But with the arrangement now is favoring one political party. Because why? 2 candidates is from one area.
Let us not preempt.
By the time, no, we're not preempting it. By the time, these 2 persons are going to be voting for their candidates.
And the election will come.
And the strengths of this area will be divided. That is our own fear. These 2 candidates, their party will be voting along their candidate. So these are the issues. So at the end of the day, somebody is going to emerge. Like you want us to be on channel recording, somebody will emerge. And what we are praying for is that this time around, Nigerians should vote right. We should not look at sentiments. We should look at somewhere that will have the political will, that will have the capacity, that will be in control. So that at the end of the day, you cannot be in government, you are not in power. We have seen it before. We have had a president who was a president of Nigeria. He was in government, he was not in power. People were dictating the pace of governance outside the ring. We don't want such a thing again. We want somebody that is, even when those who want to approach the person knows that he is an originator of this game. And you cannot persuade him to go this way. That is the direction Nigeria should go, because enough is enough. Everybody is going through the same pain today.
Okay.
People are going. All of us are going to the same market.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, for the election again proper, the presidential candidates of the major parties now, if you like, Harrison now, we cannot describe them as youth anymore. I mean, the 3 presidential candidates, the APC presidential candidates, the PDP presidential candidates, and of course the Labour Party presidential candidates. they are above the certain Rubicon, that Rubicon of being called a youth in Nigeria. Now, don't you think that's we further disadvantaged any of these people for them to get votes from the youth? Don't you think that the Nigerian youth may have to turn and look for younger candidates elsewhere to vote for?
Not at all. For me, age is not really the issue.
Because the reason why I'm asking this question, the Nigerian youth are burning. They want to have their representation there. They want to have a youth president.
The Nigerian youth cannot be united. All these political parties have their various young persons who are supporting them. They are not in the same political party. So for that reason, they cannot come together and say, this is the person that we want. Among the four major players right now, they are all above 16 years. So therefore, it is the same level. But what we are looking among this person is competence, character, where they are coming from, what have they done before, what can they do now, what are they presenting to the Nigerian people. That is the area we need to look at. It's not whether the person is too old, whether the person is this. If we have a working system, we will not have that issue. The president of America is so, it was elected when it was 77. But they have a working system. You don't. Are you going there to fight? You're not going to look at it. It's just to sit down and say, okay, this thing is already there. Let it go this way. But in Nigeria, the reverse is the case. So the youth, if they really wanted to say, okay, let us come together, long ago they should have started preparing that one, trying to get one young person that they will queue behind and begin to do the sensitization. You don't jump into a movement halfway and you think it will just work now. It's going to take time for you to build it, talk to the people. You might not get it right now, but if you are consistent with time, you will get it. But the problem we have in our political system is consistency. After this election, if it do not work, you see them decamping. You see them picking an appointment, moving, they will destroy the structure again. So if you don't take time to build it, you might not get there. And for some persons who are saying that they want to hide under the face of one presidential candidate, that they will win the election. I'm telling you, it doesn't work that way again. People want to assess individual in every position you are going. Like that man said in the Bible, that demon. He said, Jesus I know, Paul I know. He said, who are you? This man that is going for presidency, I know the man. You that is going for Senate, who are you? You are going for House of Rep in Oredo, who are you? Where have you worked before? What is your background? What is your educational qualification? What have you done? You just wake up in the morning, you that cannot be a youth leader in your street, you want to become a senator. It doesn't work that way. You cannot go and be learning how to move motion at the Senate when you have not just been a councillor. That is why we are having a problem. And that is legislative position. It's not meant for people who don't understand what it takes. People just wake up and say, I want to become this. Why do you want to do it? The time has come for Nigerians to sit down. We don't want to ride on the back of anybody any longer. It's not going to work. Somebody can go and vote for president, he will vote for this person. And he will go to another party and vote Senate. He will go to another party and vote House, because he's assessing the capacity of this person. He's looking at the competence of this person. He's looking at what this person has done in the past. What is the background of this person? Where is it coming from? They're telling me because you print your poster, your picture will be very small in one corner, and you put a picture of a presidential candidate big in the other side. Is it the one running for the position? You see where we confuse ourselves as Nigerians. Anyway, that we don't work this time around. We are prepared and we are sensitizing our people on the way to go.
Anyway, we want to say a very big thank you one more time to the Nigerian youth, as they have made INEC proud by the way they have come out to collect PVC. That's the permanent voters card. Because the chairman even alluded to that fact yesterday in Chatham House in UK, that more than 85% of the entire cards collected so far have been collected by the Nigerian youth. So we just hope and pray that they translate that into votes, the way they will vote. But what matters most is for them to vote rightly, not to vote for money bags, not to vote for candidates that
What
can
right-
afford their meal.
Depends on what is right to you. What is right to you,
You know,
it
so
will not be what is right
that's
to
what
me.
we are urging the Nigerian youth to do, so that we can have a better government. I want to say a very big thank you to Harrison
Thank you for having me.
finding time to come on the show today. All right, so this is where we end the program today. This morning on ITV on independent television, Benin City, Edo State, South Nigeria. And I will say a very big thank you to you, most especially for sitting by to watch the program this morning. My name is Evan Sunohuge, and tomorrow Daniel Praise Usadebame is going to be here on the same show this morning on ITV. Until then, goodbye and God bless you.